Women are absolutely incredible, and yet sometimes it really sucks to be a woman. Recently, I've seen a lot more videos of women in the Minecraft slash gaming industry talking about being a woman in the industry. And I'm super happy to see that it's becoming more of a topic that is being actively discussed, and I thought, hey, I have a platform and I have thoughts and feelings about this, so I thought I could share my certain perspective on it. So I'll be covering a couple of things. I'm gonna go over the struggles of being a woman, some of my own personal experiences, more specifically also certain situations that I've come across as a Minecraft creator. And I'm gonna also be talking to my fellow women or female representing people, by the way, because I don't know, sometimes I think we need a little hope and a little kindness and just to be shown that it isn't all that awful. And then finally, I would like to address a couple of things that you can do if you are either a fellow woman or a non-woman, somebody who is not going through all of these situations, but wants to help out, wants to do their part in all of this. I do want to give a slight trigger warning that I will be discussing assault and harassment, so if any of those things might be triggering to you in any certain regard, I'm sorry if this was triggering in and of itself, please do exit out, because your self-care is more important than a video of a Minecraft YouTuber, right? So, being a woman is a bit of a roller coaster sometimes, in so many different ways. Now, the reason that I'm recording this is because I don't think it's talked about enough. Even with my fellow female friends, it feels like a taboo to cover certain topics, certain things, like it's wrong to talk about these types of things. And I feel like it's so important to know as a woman or a female representing person that you are not alone in going through difficult times purely because you are a woman. And if you are not, then I think it's important that you become a bit aware. And some things may seem really small and you might think, why does this matter? But I promise you that things have a bigger impact than you think. And sometimes if you were to make a little remark or a little joke, it has a bigger impact than beyond what you think. So, let's talk about the struggles of being a woman or female representing person, hey? In today's given society. There is a lot, right? And I can go into a lot of different topics here, right? We could cover the fact that there is so little we know about the female body, even though it's existed for so many years, and that there is so much that we as women have to learn ourselves as they are happening, because there is nobody teaching us this, nobody telling us this, nobody preparing us for all of these things that can happen. And sometimes you just think you're gonna die because of what is going on and because nobody has explained it to you. And I will blatantly say it because this is, for some weird reason, a taboo topic, even though every single woman goes through it, periods. They're so normal, and I wish that it was seen as a more normal thing, because I'm sure you did not expect me to cover this, okay? I promise I will get into the gaming space and content creation as well, but I just wanted to cover a couple of things that I don't think everybody thinks of when it comes to, oh right, this is a woman thing, periods. Because I feel like as a woman, we always feel some sort of shame over the fact that we are bleeding monthly, right? But it's so normal because it happens to every single woman, or nearly every single woman at least. And it's crazy that we have to feel, that we ever feel embarrassed about something like that, and that we feel like we have to hide tampons and pads, and we have to feel embarrassed when we open them in the toilet stalls because, oh no, somebody's gonna know that we have. So what? So what? And I know it's easier said than done, but as a woman or as a girl, you should not feel any shame about something that, once again, happens to every single woman every single month. It is so normal, it is so okay, and if you're a guy, don't let a girl feel bad about having a period. Instead, if you have a friend that is a girl, if you have a sister or family member and they go through their periods, sometimes they can get really rough. Periods have such a crazy impact on our whole being sometimes. I recently learned, for example, that every week of the month is very different based on the fact that we are going to get our period one week. Our hormones act completely differently, and I don't have enough information to be diving into this, but just know that energy and mood levels, it's not a choice necessarily. We can try to learn to work with it as women, right? But do our emotions swing based on the fact that we are supposed to get our period? And that does not mean you get to say, are you on your period if a woman gets angry, right? Anyway, that's another topic. We were talking about periods here. I feel like we don't know enough about periods. There is so much that I have come to learn that I thought was not normal is actually normal. So if you're a woman and sometimes you feel a sting up your ass because you're on your period, apparently that's normal. It hurts like crazy, and I'm sorry that was really just flat out me saying that. I had that pain for so long and I thought there was something wrong with me, and turns out it is just completely normal. It sucks, but it is a completely normal part of having a period, apparently. As I was saying, if you are a guy and you have a sister, a friend that is a girl, a girlfriend, a wife that is going through her period, and you know that she usually struggles, goes through a hard time, get her something nice. Be a little gentler to her. You know, like, it's not that difficult. If she likes snacking a little bit on chocolate or some crisps or whatever, get her a little something of that. You know, show a little that you care. If you can't afford any of that, just be like, hey, checking in, you doing okay? You need anything? I don't know. Show a little kindness, you know, because it really sucks to have your period sometimes. It is a roller coaster for us as well. Okay, moving on. Being a woman, of course, there is also the whole political story. It sucks that they get to make rules about the female body, and that we didn't have a lot of rights until recently, and now it feels like, even though we had made so much progress in certain regions of the world, they are stripped away, and in certain regions of the world there are still not a lot of rights for women. And it's crazy that just because you're a woman, other people get to have a say about you. That doesn't make a lot of sense in my mind. If you are a criminal or you do something wrong in the sense of like crazy stuff, of course there should be rules about that, but rules about someone purely because they are a woman or because they are female representing or because they have, you know, the power to create life within them should not be a reason for someone else to have a say about that. But that is all I will say about that, because I know that there's a really big topic. As a woman, something you also have to struggle with is the beauty standard, of course. And I know that there are beauty standards for everyone, every gender, every type of person. And it sucks, and it should not be the case. And I mean, I stand by that. I don't think that anybody should have to say anything about the way anyone looks. And I know that especially in this day and age with social media, with, you know, the visual culture, because it is so prevalent and we are seeing more of people than we ever have before, and we are seeing more different looking people. We cannot deny that there is a certain standard still, despite all the body loving movements. There is a certain expectation of how a woman should look. Same goes for men. Once again, this is not the video for that. It sucks, and it should not be the case. As a girl or a woman, you should not be made to feel insecure about the way you look. As long as you are healthy, nobody should have a say about what you look like. And the only person that should have a say is a doctor, right? The doctor is the only person that should have a say in, hey, you are unhealthy, you should be working on this, because otherwise you're not going to live very long or something like that, you know, right? So if you are a woman, you are beautiful the way you are. It's okay to be voluptuous if you are. It's okay to have certain curves in your body. It's okay to have a little bit of fat. Keeps us warm, okay, in the winter. I don't know. It's normal for your body to look different than someone else's, even within your own family. And it's okay for you to have a different face, and it's okay for you to not wear makeup. It's okay for you to wear makeup. It's okay for you to not shave. It's okay for you to shave. It's okay for you to decide what you do with your body, as long as you are taking care of it. So if you haven't heard it a lot recently, you are beautiful and you are okay to be the person that you are. One more thing that I want to touch on that is a bit of a struggle, and that is a very difficult topic. Just in case I haven't done the trigger warning yet, I think I did, but here's a little trigger warning that I'm going to be talking about harassment and assault. Growing up, my mum would always make me very aware of the fact that I should not be going anywhere alone when it's dark, when it's late, that I should not look a certain way, that I should not even spend time alone with my dad in certain situations, that I should not change in front of my dad, which is crazy, to be quite honest with you, now that I think about it. I was told that I should not be wearing certain types of clothing. I was told that I shouldn't even be wearing certain hoop earrings, and come to think of it, that did bite me. That did bite me later in life. From a very young age, when you're a girl, you are already made aware of how scary the world can be. Not necessarily why. You're just told, don't do this, don't do that, don't wear this, don't be alone, because it's scary out there. And when you grow up, you realize why. I'm so sorry. Turns out this was very triggering for me as well. Hey, turns out I'm also okay crying on the internet because I'm a person with feelings, and feelings are okay. So, the person that I am, I'm just gonna leave this in because this has happened to me. I want to say, thankfully, not dealt with anything crazy, but I have dealt with sexual assault. I have been touched inappropriately by men because they thought that they could and they had the right to or something. I don't know. I have dealt with a lot of comments, catcalling from men, especially when I was younger, which is insane. And it is usually older men, right? It is men in their 30s and their 40s, and you are a 16-year-old girl walking across the street, or an 18-year-old girl sitting on the bus, and these men think, yeah, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna feel up a girl, and I'm gonna scar her for life, and I'm gonna make sure that she struggles later in life when she gets touched in those positions, in those spots, by somebody who deeply loves her and cares about her. And I'm going to traumatize her, and then the system is going to make sure that there is nothing you can do about it unless it is an insane, crazy sort of assault, because they don't really care, right? And you know what the worst thing is? The first time it happened, it took me, I did not go anywhere for like a week or two, and my mum told me, this is something that every woman goes through at least once. She said, I've been through it, my mother has been through it, and it sucks, but it's a part of life. Isn't that crazy? Isn't that absolutely insane? That is a thing. Oh, every woman has to go through some sort of sexual assault in their life. And I'm sorry to talk about such rough topics, but it is insane to me that that is a normal thing, and that it is expected, that you should expect it to happen to you at least once. My sisters were on vacation, and we had this separate space to go shower and go to the toilet. And they were not closed all the way. They should be closed all the way, right? Showers for women, toilets for women Closed. Floor to ceiling should be closed. For this specific reason. Boys came into the female showers while my sisters were showering, and they snapped pictures with their phone under there, and they laughed and ran away. That's insane. Why do you think that's funny? Why do you think you should do that? I'm sorry, I feel very strongly about this. Assault and harassment is such a real thing that happens every single day to so many women everywhere. And the fact that what is told is the story of, but women should dress more modest. It does not matter what you wear. And you want to know why? Because when I was first harassed, I was wearing a puffy jacket. Everything was covered. I had long pants on and I was reading a book. But I was wearing hoop earrings and I had my hair up in a ponytail. Right, so you could blame it on the earrings or the ponytail. The fact is that that man, if it was any other woman, if I looked any other way, would probably still have done the same. He would have done it to a girl, a woman. It did not matter how I looked, because it is the mindset of the guy. It is not the way the woman looks. It is the guy that thinks it's okay to do something like this and that he can get away with it. Sorry. No, actually not sorry. Because it is a very real struggle and I think it's important to be talked about. And I know that probably people are clicking off constantly while I'm talking about this because, oof, very, very confrontational. But it is so very real. And not talked about enough, in my opinion. And you know what really sucked in that first time I went through my assault? It was like, you know, it was inappropriate touching. I asked to move because he slid in next to me on a bench. The bus was nearly empty, by the way. But he slid in next to me, so I was basically in between the window and him. Nobody said anything when I made any, like, vocal remarks. Can you please stop touching me, sir? I said. My first instinct should have been so much harsher than that. My first instinct was, can you please keep your hands to yourself? There were people behind me. Nobody said a thing. He did it again. I said, can you please move? I would like to go sit somewhere else. He hesitated. I went and sat somewhere and I cried. And I don't expect people to care about me, but not a single person. Not a single person checked in with me if I was okay. And you feel so alone and disgusting in a moment like that. And one person asks if you're okay. Oh, I have stronger feelings about this still than I thought. That sucks. That hurts. And I vowed that if I would ever see anyone go through that, well, I would not be like that. That I would be a person to check in with them and ask if they needed anything. And if they would say, I would rather be left alone, then I would leave them alone. But at least they would know that somebody saw what happened and could check in with them. I apologize. I did not know I still had such strong feelings about that topic. And if anybody is still listening, and if you have experienced something similar, you are not alone. And I hope that you are able to talk about it with someone and work through it. Because it is scarring. No matter how small or silly it may seem, it is scarring. And I do really hope you have someone to talk to about it, even if it's been years. Because clearly, for me, it's been many, many years. And I still feel this way about it because there is nobody that I can talk to about it. Because they were just, I don't know. Anywho. Now, you know, when life in and of itself looks like this, you want to escape to somewhere sometimes. And a lot of the time that means you're going into gaming. Whether that just be on your own or just online gaming. And unfortunately, you know, it still happens when you're doing FPS games in the lobbies or in the games. If you make it known that you're a woman or a girl, harassment happens. And it sucks that what you hear then is people saying, you should expect that to happen. It is very known that in these lobbies or in these games, people are very sexist. They are very denigrating. They are very rude, very mean. And I think it's crazy that that is the response because we are always enabling it. We are always saying, it's okay for you to do what you do. If you're a woman, just watch out. just, you know, don't go there. Don't do that. Don't do this. Why are the women told not to do certain things because the men are being, not even only men, right, but mostly men, are being absolute douchebags? That doesn't make any sense to me. If you are a woman who does like play FPS games, for example, which are often seen as spaces that are not very safe for women because it is male dominated and shooter games are for men and for guys only. If you are a girl that does those, if you absolutely beat their asses at the game and you have great comebacks to their nasty comments, I applaud you. You are doing amazing. You are doing the Lord's work. Like, honestly, incredible. Every time I see a video like that pop up on my feed, I applaud it because I'm not very good at that kind of stuff. I wish I was. I think that's very cool. And I think more women should be in those spaces. And I think if you are a woman in one of those spaces that is seen as mainly male dominated, you are doing absolutely incredible. Keep doing it. And if you are a woman who has been thinking about wanting to enter one of those spaces, but you're kind of scared, you're kind of putting back, don't. Do your thing and just come out on top. Just be great, because we shy away from it purely because we see how the spaces are, right? We are kind of scared. Like, people have also talked about the PvP space within Minecraft, right? Jojo Solas has made a video about that, how women are made to feel lesser than and are kind of looked down upon in the space, are not really welcomed. Whereas, shouldn't you like be applauding the women that do it? Not in a denigrating way, but in like an actual building them up way. Because why do you only want men to be in it? Don't you want to fight fairly? Don't you also want to be able to fight a woman who is in this space who is really good and be like, dang, you beat me. That's power to you. I just cannot understand how we can see someone of an opposite gender like that and just think, you are lesser than. I don't understand how we can look at any human and think, you are lesser than, should be talked down upon, should be harassed, should not be included in anything. Does not make sense to me at all. So once again, if you are a woman or a female representing person that wants to enter one of those spaces, go, you do you. And if you're afraid to do it alone, try to find a buddy to help you go through it together, because you're not alone. I swear to you, there are so many fellow women, fellow female representing people, also probably guys who are supportive of women in these spaces. You definitely deserve to take up space in there, just letting you know. Now, of course, that is the more male dominated gaming space, and cozy games are the games that are seen as more female games, right? Those are the games that the women enjoy, and for some reason it is looked down upon. I don't understand why a type of game is seen as something that is more for a man or more for a woman. Why does that matter? And why does playing cozy games for some reason make you not a real gamer? Are you not playing a video game? How does that work? You are playing a game, therefore you are a gamer. And it doesn't matter if it's a cozy game, it doesn't matter if it's a really popular game, it does not matter. You are a gamer. Okay, so if you like playing Minecraft, if you like playing a fishing game, if you like playing Stardew Valley, if you love playing The Sims, it does not matter what gender you are, who you identify as, you are a real gamer because you are playing a video game. And that is it. That is that conversation. And I will never understand how that is made out to be any different, how it is the cozy gaming category is kind of made fun of. I'm really happy to see that there are more cozy gamers. I'm really happy to see that there are like events going on about it. There is a really positive community about it, around it. So if you like cozy games, by the way, I identify myself as a cozy Minecrafter, so feel free to stick around. Feel free to stick around. This is a safe space. We love people. It does not matter where you come from. It does not matter who you identify as. It does not matter who you love. As long as you are not hateful, it's all good. Speaking of being a Minecraft YouTuber, if you are a content creator, a female representing woman content creator, especially if you are a creator who shows your face, there are going to be people coming in making sexual remarks, denigrating remarks, There are unfortunately hate raids, and if you're unfamiliar with what that is, it happens usually over on Twitch. I think it happens less often, but I could be wrong, where it's basically somebody setting up a botted system where you get a bunch of bots in your chat following you with either very inappropriate names, very hateful messages getting spammed in your chat. People with bad intentions do bad things. And it is really sad that that happens, purely because you are a woman. It happens for more categories than just women, by the way. Hate raids, hate speech happens all the time. Probably more if you are also someone in the LGBTQIA+ community, for example, or if you're a person of color, and I'm so sorry that that happens, and I wish I could do something about that. Oh, I so wish that I could just stop all the hate and all the discrimination in the world. Doesn't make any sense to me why that needs to happen, why we as people cannot just love other people, because I say this a lot of the time, we are all flesh and bones, and the packaging looks a little different, but wouldn't it be so boring if we all had the same packaging? I don't know why it could ever matter to someone what it is you look like, or who you love, who you identify as. Why does that affect anyone else? It doesn't. It really doesn't. Zero impact. So yeah, unfortunately, those kind of things happen when you are a woman in the online creating space. Sometimes there's also people who, for some weird reason, see it as suddenly a dating opportunity. They go in and they go, hey, you should be my wife. Hey, wanna date me? Can I be your husband? Can I be your boyfriend? And then making all kinds of remarks. Also making really inappropriate sexual comments. Purely because you're a woman. You haven't even done anything wrong. It's just because you exist, you're a woman, and you decided to put your face on the internet. You know, doing something that you enjoy. That isn't inappropriate or weird in any way. But they will find you and they will make the comments because they suck. In that regard, there is nothing you can do as a woman besides realizing that this happens, and these people will do it regardless of who you are. It is not aimed specifically at you. Like, these people are just looking for any woman to target and to leave inappropriate comments and to make them feel uncomfortable and to make their community feel uncomfortable. They just do this because that's who they are and that's what they want to do, and it is not anything that you've done. It is just people being weird and inappropriate for no reason other than they don't have a life besides that. So in that regard, if you want to be a content creator, you have to have a bit of thick skin, or you have to grow it and learn. You have to learn that these types of things happen, and then you can get yourself some moderators to help you filter through that and help you handle those situations. And if you need to take a step back, you can take a step back. If something like that happens, especially for the first time, don't engage, right? Don't engage with them because that's what they want. They want to get a reaction out of you. They want to get a rise out of you. Get rid of them. They have no good intentions at all. I've learned that the hard way. It becomes worse. If you don't get rid of them right away, it becomes worse. So if you feel uncomfortable with someone's comment, you can just say, hey, that's wrong. You shouldn't be saying stuff like that. That makes someone feel uncomfortable. And if the vibe after that is the same, they do not show any signs of changing, just get rid of them. That's okay. It is totally okay to remove someone from your community if they make you or anyone else feel uncomfortable. And even if it's somebody that has been in the community for a while and you have always been okay with them, they've been nice, if they suddenly start acting up weird, get rid of them. It's okay. It sucks, especially if you're still a smaller creator, right? It sucks, but it's for your own good. So it's very important that you do so. I feel like that was a really big yap about the struggles of being a woman. And I know that I'm putting this out there and I'm basically opening up the conversation, right? So if anybody has thoughts, feel free to. But I just wanted to share my experience with being a woman and then talking about being a woman on the internet, because it's crazy that purely, like I say, like purely for the gender that you have, that you are born with, purely for being who you are, loving who you love, all of that is for some reason a reason to get hated on, get pulled down, get harassed, that purely because you are a woman or a female representing person, you are expected to go through all of these horrible situations, but nobody ever really talks about it. Like the fact that I had a solid cry when I was talking about the assault and harassment, because I think I've talked about it in 3 instances to 3 people. One of them was my mum, and that was like only when it happened, and after that no more. And then I talked to a counselor about it because it had happened recently. And then I talked to my boyfriend because yes, of course. And I tried to bring it up with certain friends, but it's kind of brushed off, you know? And it's crazy to me that these are not things that we can talk about. Or maybe I'm just surrounded by the wrong people. I don't know. That could also be the case. I'm not sure. And I know this is a really heavy topic, and I know that this is a really big thing. And once again, I am aware that this happens to more people than just women or female representing people. And I do not want to take away power from that, but that is not something that I think I can speak on experience-wise. Like, but I want you to know that if you are LGBTQA+, if you are of a different ethnicity, this is a very welcoming space. I do not care what you look like. I do not care who you love. It does not affect me. I just want to be a safe space for everyone, and I want to build up people as much as I can, and I want people to feel heard. I want people to feel seen. And this video specifically was meant for other women, not only, but most importantly, for other women to know that, one, you are not alone in this journey, okay? You are not alone in going through the struggles. You are seen, you are heard, and I am so sorry that you had to go through anything awful that has happened to you purely for the sake that you are a woman or a girl. And it should not have happened. And I wish I could give you a virtual hug because it is crazy that these things happen. And I hope that you can find a space or a person to talk about these experiences, because it is so important. Because if you keep it all in, it is really not good for your soul. It helps you heal if you can talk about it. I think the fact that I am making this, that I'm recording this, is helping me heal as well. It is scary now that I think about it, because I'm recording now, but having to put it out there is going to be a totally different thing. But it is so healing. And I want you to know that you are loved, and that what you look like as well. I want to tell you so much, it does not matter, it should not matter. The most important thing is that you love yourself, and that is a really difficult journey for a lot of people, especially in this day and age. But try to love yourself, and then nobody can touch you. Well, in this context. And then nobody can get to you. Because unfortunately, people are mean, and it will happen. You know, the ideas are out there. But if you love yourself, I'd like to think and hope that nothing can touch you. Because you are confident in who you are and what you look like. And as long as you are healthy, like I mentioned before, everything's okay. And remember that if you are a woman, you're a badass, and you are incredible just for existing and having to deal with everything that comes with being a woman. So keep on killing it. Keep on going, because you're doing amazing. Now, if you are a non-woman and you are still listening or watching, first of all, thank you so much. Because I'm really afraid that nobody is going to be listening at this point because of all the waves that we've been through. But if you are, and you want to see what you could potentially do to make women feel safer, more cared for, I've touched on a couple of things before, right? But there are 2 main ones that I think should be covered. Number 1, just be kind. Be a decent human being. Don't make any unnecessary remarks, things that you think are a joke about a woman being a woman. don't make those jokes, because you might think it's a silly little joke, but as you may have heard, women deal with a lot of stuff all of the time, and your silly little joke is just a little scoop on top because you think it's innocent and there's nothing wrong with what you said, but it's denigrating them for the fact that they're a woman. Once again, not saying that these things don't happen to men or to anyone who has a different skin color or identifies as a certain way. It does happen, but that's what being a decent human being is all about, is you not doing any of those things, right? And the second thing is, if you see someone near you doing those things, speak up about it. I know that is so scary, and it's something that we have to learn as people, to speak up, right? I've seen things happen where I thought I would speak up and then I didn't because I got scared, right? So I understand that it's scary to speak up sometimes as well. But if over time, especially to people closest to you, if they do things that are inappropriate, that are denigrating, that are wrong, just say something about it. Address it and be like, hey, that's not okay that you're doing that. Sometimes people don't realize that what they're doing is wrong or shouldn't be said, shouldn't be done. And then they won't listen to the party that they're aiming it at. It sucks that this is the case, because if a woman says something, it's kind of brushed off. But if a fellow guy were to say something, it is a lot more respected and a lot more heard. It sucks, but it's true. So, you see anything happen, you hear anything happen, speak up. It might make more of a difference than you think. One more thing that's just a little quote-unquote added bonus. If you watch content creators and you find, or if you take a moment and you realize, I don't actually watch a lot of female content creators in, I don't know, the traveling that I like to watch or the gaming that I like to watch. I'm not saying just force yourself to sit through a woman's content purely because they are a woman. Find female content creators or female representing content creators that you enjoy watching. Not just because they're a woman, but purely because the content they create you enjoy. I don't know if it's because a lot of males do watch my content, right? Looking at the analytics. But just find more women to watch. If you like watching PvP, try to find more women to watch, you know? Like, if you're scrolling through trying to find something and you see a woman in PvP content, dare to click on the video instead of scrolling past, you know? Just like actively making the decision, let me check it out. You never know. You might have found a new creator that you really like. I think this is one of the longest yap videos I'm gonna have put out. And I'm once again not entirely sure if anybody has listened to it all the way, but if you did, seriously, thank you so much for listening to me ramble on about this, because I feel very strongly about something like this, as you might have noticed. You know, I want there to be less hate and more love. That sounds so hippie of me, I guess, I don't know. I wish the world was a bit of a better place. And if I can't change the world, at least I can try to create some sort of space here. And if you listen to this entire thing, you are helping me create that space, because you are helping this video get pushed out to more people. And yeah, if you want to be a part of this space and you've listened and you have not yet subscribed or followed, make sure to do so. That would help me out a ton. Leaving any kind of comment helps as well. And I hope you're okay. I hope you're taking care of yourself. I hope you feel loved. I hope you feel understood. And I hope that you know that you are not alone. And I wish you a very, very wonderful day or night. Bye.